Good morning everyone, it's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today we're going to be going into EX3 Tempered Edge, the last stage that you need to get the free-to-play dupes of TRYA, because you get the 5 here, and then you get the other 5 from the shop for beatdown battles. So as long as you can clear EX3, you can get TRYA to 120. It just takes some grinding. So today we're going to be showing off a couple teams that can do that. Obviously the meta team will be first, and it's going to take all of about 2 minutes to do, and then we'll be showing a few other teams that can take it on and have some success. So the first team will be the meta, as it stands right now, with Mjurran, Hero 2.0, Isis, Dark Milim, Shuna, and TRYA in the back. Milim and TRYA are orb changing, Isis is orb changing, the Hero 2.0 is buffing all of our orb damage and lowering his resistance, and then Shuna is doing, ridiculous damage. So, and then, Mjurran is giving us the follow-up attacks, which is going to help us do even more ridiculous damage. So, I mean, this team, even if you don't have the Hero 2.0, even if you don't have Milim, right, you could have Isis, you could have TRYA, you could have Shuna, and you could bring 2 other characters, and I really don't think it's going to matter. As if you have Mjurran and Shuna, you're gonna murder this stage. Maybe not in 3 turns, but certainly before he can kill you. So 3,800, okay, cheeky counterattack, 11.5k right there, and then this does 23.8. Awesome. We have 4 orbs. We have a good orb change though, so let's use Isis, and then let's use the green buff. And then we'll use TRYA to change those last 2. So we'll get Isis out of here. And we'll use that orb change. And then we'll get the hero in here. So we can keep TRYA away so she can possibly orb change next turn. We'll get the follow-ups going. And this should do some really good damage, because we have 4 Shuna orbs. Without the buff, but we'll get that next turn. And an ult. So 15.7, 8,000 on a guard, 8,000 on a guard, and then the final hit does 33.3, and we've already taken almost half his health away. That's pretty good. All right, we're binded. Unfortunate right there. We're going to, I think, hold that ult, so we're going to save that, make another green. Can't do anything about these 2. If we were able to swap her out, we could bring TRYA in and steal those, but we can't. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to send these and be done with it. So the next turn, hopefully, we can send what we want. Alright, there we go. We have 2 ults and 100 points. So now we'll use the ult buff right here. Maybe we could have gone without the ult buff, but we're fairly confident we're going to murderize this poor guy. Can't use the resistance down, but again, I don't really think it matters. So we'll get you in here. We'll do this again for the follow-ups. And we'll send this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm pretty sure he's dead. Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye. Alright, well, obviously this is going to do it, and do it pretty fast. You could have even played this a little bit better, but there we go. Meta team can do it. Let's move on. Alright, next up is going to be the World of Fantasy team with Frey, Milim, Shion, Rimuru, who both have type advantage in this stage, so that definitely helps out. They're definitely covered. We've brought Alice to give us the Pierce, Isis to buff the greens, and then we have our orb changers. So turn 1, it's built for that special convert, but we can use either Shuna and Shion and Rimuru, and then Milim to get that full 6-hand send. And it's a green focused team in a green focused stage. Yes, they're not magic, but I don't think that's going to be an issue, because this team is built for burst damage, right? And it's good. Guaranteed crits for most people, except Isis. Fine. I think we'll be okay. Do have to worry about that bind, but doesn't really matter too much. So we'll use Shion's because it's going to give us extra skill points. We'll get Milim in here for Isis. We'll use hers, which will give us that permanent 10% damage to greens, which we're going to use a lot of those. And then we're actually going to send Milim last. because Shuna does have type advantage. So 41, 56, 57. So Milim is doing the least amount of damage on this team, even though she is the DPS of the fantasy team, right? That looks pretty good right there. Let's go ahead and use some skills. So let's use Rimaru's for extra damage. Let's use the Pierce Resistance down. We'll get Rimuru out of here, since we've used both his skills now. We'll bring Isis in, and we'll use the green buff. And, yeah, I think we'll hold there. Maybe we use the crit damage right here as well, just to do some extra on top. We'll get Frey active. We'll change those last 2 oranges. And then I think we're going to leave Isis here just to make sure we can cover the orbs on next turn, in case we get some maybe bad RNG. But now I think Milim's going to do extra damage because she's got the crit, right? And the attack buff. So 9,000, yeah, 12,000. So she is going to do more damage there. And 26,000. All right, we're down a third of his health already. Cool. Everyone is binded in. Fine. There's Shion's trait kicking in as well. So now we have the 2 ults here. No Pierce, though, which is unfortunate. So I think we're going to hold this for now. We're just going to send these 2 oranges and see what we can get next turn. All right, yeah, that looks pretty good right there. So let's go ahead and bring you in for Isis. Right? So we got 55 plus 25, so that's 70, 80 points. Yeah, don't have enough for that, so we're gonna use Frey, but whatever. So we'll get you here. We'll get the Pierce going, and then we'll get the Pierce power for Shion. Shion does not have her skill fusion, so she is still sitting at the base of 25% instead of 40, so we're up to 43 now. So she'd be doing even better if we had her skill fused, but we don't. So, oh well. Let's use Frey, guarantee us. So now we're going to have crits and pierces. Milim doesn't have her crit damage buff anymore, but fine, whatever. We're really meant to be doing damage with Shuna, or Shion here. So we'll do this, that, and then we'll do that and that. And we should cover quite a bit of his health. 200% orb does 37,000, alright. Milim's ult, 34k, 71k, and yeah. We're looking pretty good. Okay, yeah, we can get this covered, actually, because we can do this. I'm not going to use Alice's orb change because it just costs more, and points are valuable. So let's use this for the extra damage. Let's use that. Are the greens buffed anymore? They're not, so let's get that going again. Alright, so now we're out. We're in turn 5, so now Milim is not going to get any more crit damage stacks. We're at 49% there. So we haven't even used it, so we'll still send Shion last. 21,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 12,000, and I think this next turn we kill him. So, yeah, defense down. Fine, whatever. I'm not even going to send the ult with Isis. We're going to get Rimuru back in here. And we're going to... we'll attack up with both of them. Both the girls, just for funsies. Use Frey. Give us some extra points. And... do we have enough? No, we don't have enough. Alright, well, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This should kill. This super duper kills. There we go. So we did it in 6 turns instead of 4 turns. Oh no. But obviously we can do it. And, you know, Shion's on the banner. Shion's also a year old. So is Rimuru. Isis is free. Milim and Frey are the newest units, which, you know, I know most people summon for Milim and Frey because they're really good. And then Alice is more than... she's like a year and a half old now. So definitely a more playable team. Can still get it done, can still get you those dupes. Let's try something else. Alright, next team. A year-old team, essentially. The old bride meta, Light 2.0, Shizu, Rimuru, Shinsha free-to-play, and Shion, who is on the banner, who is, you know, just got a skill revamp, which we haven't done yet, so she's still going to be at the lower power. But we've also brought the hero. People should have the hero now because they should have picked her up from the shop. So I don't really want to hear arguments about I don't have the hero. And then Isis is free to play. So this team is light, so light focused. Should be doing good damage. This Grucius doesn't have like too much health. I think if we tried to take this into Inferno, we might have a little bit more difficulties because he gets like 1,000,000 health. But EX3, he's only at 300 something, and we can definitely cover 300,000 in 4 or 5 turns. So turn 1, we're going to bring in Shinsha for the blue orb change because she's got a single, and then we'll use Shion for the other orb change, and we'll take Shinsha out. And then we'll do this, and we'll use this for the extra skill points, and we'll be looking real good, real fast. We'll get Shizu up online. Hopefully we get a good orb change next turn, and we can use the rewind on turn 2 just to help us build up a lot of skills for Shion. And yeah, that'll work quite nicely. All right, so let's use this orb change. Let's lower the pierce resistance. Let's go ahead and bring in the hero for Isis. And then we'll use the rewind, and then we'll swap the hero out for Shinsha. That way everyone is light, everyone's going to have the pierce buff going. He doesn't get his own pierce and crit defense until turn 8, so that is where you're really going to want to gate yourself, which is fine because, good teams stack up turn 8. 13,000 damage, and we're taking chunks off of his health. These are old units. They are a year old, but they are doing work, and it's great that they can do that. All right, thankfully we can get ourselves out of this, so let's use this. Let's use the light buff. Let's use the attack buff. This is just more skills to help buff up our pierce power. What are we sitting at now? We're up to 52%. That's pretty good, and we're still only on turn 2. Let's use Shizu again. Full hand of greens plus the green buff from Isis plus rewind is going to make sure that we get another Shizu next turn. We'll have alts for Rimuru and Shion, and yeah, 27,000. He's dead. He's dead next turn. He's dead in 3 turns. This is real life. We're binded in. I don't really care because he's going to die. And that's even more stacks right there. So now we're up to 58%. I'm pretty sure this one ult from Shion is going to wipe. And that is not hard. You don't even need a Shion at 100 to do this. Maybe if she's not, you go to turn 4. Oh no. Tragic. Does this actually kill? Yeah, 108,000 right there. That was difficult. That's an old team. That's an old strategy. Worked fine. Let's try something else then. Okay, so I've finished recording the entire video, right? And it's like 6 teams worth of footage. So I'm going to split this up into 2 parts. This will be part 1, the really, really good, quick and easy teams. And then the second part will be other teams that are maybe... Some are actually just as good. But, also we have like the less fortunate team at the very end. So, but I didn't want this video to be like 40 minutes. So... this will be the end of part 1. We had, the current meta, we had World of Fantasy, and we had Light 2.0. Very strong teams, green focus, that were able to murder this stage. So if these don't fit you, then stay tuned for the video that'll come probably later in the day with the other teams I have recorded. And if you can't beat it with, some kind of hodgepodge of what I've shown, then join the Discord. Someone will try and help you, because TRYA is worth it. She will be a usable unit for a long time. Long time. So I want to make sure that people are able to max her out, or at least get close to it, as close as possible, before she leaves. And thankfully we have like 30 days to do that. So stay tuned for part 2 if this didn't work for you, but that's it for me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.